Welcome to Planting Design. Vegetation is essential part in our environment. To farm, to make a garden, for leisure, or to cover something. We will be exploring how to use plants in plan. When we design with plants, we design with nature. This is true when we are rebuilding eroded slopes. The vegetation cleared forests because plants are living, growing, changing things that form part of the natural world. This makes plants quite different to any other medium of design. The medium is alive and it is a challenge to designers to understand the plant characteristics enough to visualize the outcome in through time. Like what you see in this picture, this is from the same place with different season. You can see the spring, summer, autumn, and winter. And here are also pictures of the same place in New York Central Park taken from the different seasons. To treat planting to a mere filling of shapes, determined by a greater design concept, is to regard it as if it were a paving material or a walling unit. Planting is one medium that makes landscape design unique among design disciplines, and by using its full potential with confidence and innovation, designers in the landscape can develop a distinctive professional profile. Here in this picture, you can see from the smaller 1-year plant to 20-year plant. For a 1-year plant, you can use this as small hedges, and then as it grows, it will become large walls or large barriers on your design landscape. So why design? What is the purpose of planting design? There are three main reasons. 1. Landscape design helps us to make the best of our environment. A landscape that is functional is one that provides for breadth of use. Planting design is an essential element in making and managing this kind of people place. And words such as liveliness, complexity, subtlety, resilience, flexibility, and sustainability all help to describe the design potential. Planting design helps us to restore and maintain a sustainable relationship between people and their environment in a context of change. It does by helping to conserve valuable ecological system and in creating or reconstructing habitats. It also helps in introducing green space where before there was only gray space. Planting design offers aesthetic delights as complex and intense as those found in galleries or exhibition. Its aesthetic impact can thought-provoking, soothing, exciting, and so on. According to the intention of the designer and the state of his or her soul, every sound, even the sound made by wind and rain in leaves and branches, all these adds to the quality of daily life. These three reasons for planting design, which is use, ecology, and aesthetics, are not independent. Throughout history, the arrangement and cultivation of planting has expressed human use of land. This has been the case not only with the cultivation of food, timber, and other crops, but also in planting, which was intended not for economic production, but for recreational use. The forms of the earliest pleasure garden in Persia were adapted from the agricultural landscape of the fertile river plains with its irrigation canals and regular spaced fruit trees. In 18th and 19th century England, hedges planted to enclose fields were planned to improve farming efficiencies and increase profits. The garden hedge is an echo of the hedge enclosure of the English lowland countryside. It performs a related role but on a smaller scale. The basic provision of equipment like swings and climbing structures allows children to engage in activities, but it does not create the best environment for play. It needs more safety, opportunities for discovery, adventure, fantasy, play, and others can be provided by planting. There are circumstances in which the natural processes of colonization and succession of vegetation will be enough to repair the loss of the ecosystem or to make an environment suitable for human need and activities. Spontaneous colonization of vacant urban sites, for example, can result in attractive urban commons that are enjoyed by children, dog walkers, blackberry pickers, and naturalists. A road cutting in rural area can be a home for colorful wildflowers and become a diverse meadow or scrub community. So if you've seen that video of an Indian man making a forest, this is the best example of planting design as management of natural vegetation processes. Most planting design, however, involves a much greater degree of control over natural processes. The extreme case is a highly manicured garden of exotic and tender species that could not exist without constant horticultural intervention. This kind of complete artificial planting is appropriate in the right setting. It is not intrinsically better or worse than the minimal intervention or ecological approach. Good design means choosing the kind of planting and management that is appropriate to the site and its uses. This will often mean the one that requires the lowest level of intervention in natural processes necessary for planting to meet the design objectives. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, it will cost less because less labor and material resources are used. The second is more debatable. Aesthetic pleasure is an important objective of planting design. Planting offers enjoyable sensory experience and creative opportunities for art and design. The idea of pleasure is deliberately and often falsely associated with consumer products and lifestyle. This is a successful technique for stimulating demand, but the product and experiences rarely live up to their billing. In reality, the consumer culture is one which often frustrates genuine delight. With landscape and planting design, we aim to create an environment which can help people to live fulfilling and enjoyable lives. The pleasure of a loving tended garden or a contact with wild plants can contribute a lot to our daily well-being and foster a genuine recreation of the spirit. We have identified three main purposes of planting design: functional, ecological, and aesthetic. A successful planting design will be mindful to its one, the use, what is the project used for, number two, ecology of the locality, and number three, aesthetically pleasing. And that concludes the chapter 1 for planting design, which is the introduction.